I want to get this video finished quickly so I can get back to work on my other projects. So we'll first begin with obligatory thank yous, followed by what I'm working on right now, followed by the true point of this whole video. And if you're someone who wants to get better at subtlety and storytelling, keep watching as I have a special treat for you. First off, going from 180 subscribers to almost 2,000 in about a month is fantastic, and my Naruto video going to around 250,000 views makes me quite pleased. Thank you all who have come by and subscribed. Second, what's in the works? The second video I've ever made on this channel, specifically on Gurren Lagann and the philosophical idea behind the phrase, don't believe in yourself, believe in me who believes in you, got a copyright strike early on, and YouTube, on my behalf, said they won't even bother sending over the counter notification. Since my little surge, I decided to try re-uploading it, and this time the counter notification actually went through. So hopefully that video will be going up soon. This one in particular holds a special place in my heart more than any other video I've made. I can't go into details, but think of it as it got me a PhD, or it led me to meeting my wife, or some important life milestone, so it holds a lot of personal importance to me. What's in the very early stages of development, right now pretty much only in my head, is an addendum to my Naruto video to actually address some criticisms. While some have been genuinely good critiques, others not so much. What I've been throwing myself into is a video on Dragon Ball. While most of my scripts are between 3 and 5 pages, my Dragon Ball script is currently on page 13, and I don't think I'm even halfway through. Granted, it's just a skeleton first draft, and there will be plenty of changes when I go through it again, but if I were to guess, I would end up adding more than I would take away. The core of the video will be going into the importance of Dragon Ball as a whole to the entire storytelling medium, as well as the many things Akira Toriyama, even if it's just pure accident, got so perfectly right in the way any epic saga that speaks down to the very core of being human should aim for. I'm also gonna make a lot of fun controversial statements, such as this one. Dragon Ball is one of the most unpredictable shows out there, and the stereotype that every saga is just Goku getting new power up to win has only been true one single time. It'll be a lot of fun, look forward to it. Other things I want to work on, I want to make a lot more Can He Beat Goku videos, got a lot of good ideas planned for that. On a similar note, I'm still in the early stages of learning more advanced editing with Adobe After Effects and some other high-tech software, and I plan to do a lot more fun things after I get better. Speaking of Adobe, I've been trying to design a webcomic using Adobe Illustrator. Unfortunately, as anyone who personally knows me, my artistic skills before I began this project last month did not exist. But I'm getting better, kind of. I haven't worked on anything since late July because my business has kept me busy to say the least. Some other things I would like to do for everyone is talk more about stories, their construction, and their importance. For an example of construction, the thumbnail of this video I specifically chose because it strikes at two of the biggest emotional tics in people, their lust and their humor. Everyone loves laughing and being horny, and you almost instinctually want to click on a thumbnail that does both. From there, I decided to do a slideshow, not of sexy shots, but more so of cute shots. I put in the effort for that instead of just a blank screen because videos of this nature tend to be a bit more boring, so I needed some way of keeping people's attention. I also gave them the slight zoom in effect because motion captures our interest more than just a still image. I went for cute instead of pure horny bait because everyone loves cute, but a lot of people are turned off by overt sexualization. Not to mention that I don't want parts of the brain shutting off because it's too engrossed in the idea of something sexual, which is something a lot of writers like to do in order to distract you from their otherwise terrible stories. I've got a lot of books, multiple notebooks full of scribbles and notes, as well as some in-person tutoring by people who will go unnamed on this very topic. So I'm not just some guy who played with Legos one time and thinks he can build a building. I really need to at some point go more in-depth about stories and their sheer importance for who we are. If you think you are someone who just watches things on the side and is not affected by anything you watch or listen to, you're wrong. There's no other way of putting it. The best you can do is have some control over the flow of how this stuff moves inside of your head. But first, I'd have to showcase some of the ways this stuff flows and is constructed. For example, after I broke the illusion of the cute anime girl slideshow and you became aware of what's going on, a lot of people will become a little bit more disinterested in this video, so I had to quickly hook them back in. After an illusion is broken, people tend to become a bit more somber and serious, feeling like they just got tricked. And a good portion of those people also get a bit curious. So I need to play on those feelings to get the hooks in. I decide to shift over to something of a bit more importance, flowing with the now more serious and or curious state of mind. That is not to say that I've done any lying in this video. I've just had to properly construct it in such a way so as to get the truth and the message across to you, and some of that consisted of benevolently manipulating your emotional state and flowing with it to reach peak desired outcome. And I'd love to show people who are story writers and world builders some of the ways they can do that. But if I am to do any of this, and even more stuff I haven't mentioned, well, now we get to the core of this video. The amount of time I can dedicate to this YouTube channel is directly proportional to how well I can pay the bills. I can't speak for other content creators, but I can tell you that the amount of time I have on any given day to dedicate to this work depends directly on the amount of support I can get. So while it's a little bit early to get a Patreon or anything going, I decided to open one up, as well as Subscribestar, so I can see just how much help and support I can get from the community right now. All the work I do on the other side of the screen is without a boss, so everything is setting my own hours. The downside to that is that it's entirely possible to get minimal income some days because there's just no work. The consequences of being a self-employed entrepreneur anyway. I decided on the monthly system and not per video because per video invites the chance of me being lazy and making subpar 5-minute videos, all for the sake of that sweet money. And I do not want to become one of those YouTubers that makes a lot of vids with 8 minutes of filler and 2 minutes of complaining about social media or some other nonsense. I want my content to be either fully fleshed out, quality work, or something like the Konosuba video. Every dollar of support I get will actually make the videos come out faster. I have not determined what the reward tiers are going to be just yet. Sadly, these sites have poorly constructed rules, so I can't actually offer any items I sell from my store. Sure, if the store was owned by somebody else and I offered their teas as Patreon gifts, there'd be no problem. But since I own it, I can't do that. But rest assured, anything in the tiered systems will be retroactively given to people. Not to mention, I tend to remember those who are kind to me when I don't have anything to immediately offer. So there it is, that video on grifting and asking people to give me their money. But, sadly, bills do need to be paid, so I am in your hands, fellow viewers. And I kindly and humbly ask for any generosity you can give. And, as always, buy my tea.